Welcome back. In this video, I built a sloop from Sea of Thieves. For those of you who know, the game Sea of Thieves is getting a PS5 release on April 30th, which is tomorrow. And so in order to properly prepare for that, I decided to build a sloop in Minecraft. Now, if you guys have enjoyed my content earlier when I used to make videos, you would know that I used to make a lot of Sea of Thieves clips. I even have a video with a lot of my Sea of Thieves clips still on my channel right now if you want to check it out. But the point is, I love Sea of Thieves, and I thought it would be a great build project for me to do to build the sloop. I'm planning on making this a 3-part series, and after that, I will be including tutorials. Anyways, on with the video. Some of you may be wondering, why would you build a sloop? Isn't there galleons and brigantines in the game? And I would say yes. I was wondering that myself. Why didn't I do that? Well, the real reason is I'm actually going to build all 3, just not in this video, unfortunately. As I said earlier, I'm planning on making this a 3-part series where I build the brigantine next and then the galleon. And maybe, just maybe, Flameheart's Man of War. So here, I started with the interior of the sloop. And knowing the game, naturally, because I played this for almost 1,000 hours, I have a very good idea of how big it's supposed to be. But as I was making this video, I was also playing Sea of Thieves at the same time, just so I could get every single detail correct. But here, I started with the interior. That way I can get all the layers correct and make sure that instead of building it on the outside and getting the proportions wrong, I start with the proportions of the inside and then build the outside after. Here I'm building the mast, and when I was in the game, I thought the mast was a little bit darker, but actually it's the same color as the planks. And I'm not detailing this with any other colors or any designs in the game. I'm just doing the base brown sloop. Here I'm building the windows. There's these 2 really small slit windows in there, building some of the railings. And around here, there's this kind of edge. And then this was a very tricky part for me. Getting the, what's it called? The nose right? I don't know ship anatomy, so, and I know I should because I play Sea of Thieves. Forgive me if I say anything wrong in this video. But here I try to round out the shape a little bit. Obviously, it's not going to be done until the video's over, but I make a lot of different attempts to try and make the shape as close to accurate as the game as possible. The crow's nest was a very interesting and also particularly easy part. But then there's all these, just trying to get the edges to look right. It's very difficult in a block game and trying to translate a very small ship from Sea of Thieves into Minecraft. And yes, I am starting with the smallest ship first and planning to build up to potentially the brigantine. And luckily, because Minecraft has rowboats, I don't actually need to build a rowboat. So that's good. But here, I'm starting to frame it using spruce wood instead of oak wood to kind of break up the color scheme a little bit. Because in the game, if you looked at sloops, they kind of have this frame around them that's kind of embedded into it. And so that's what I'm trying to replicate here. And then now I'm starting on the sails. So sails in Minecraft are very, very tricky to get correct. I'm not entirely sure what my thought process was with this, but in the game Sea of Thieves, it's a very square, very simple shape. So this was pretty easy for me. But getting sails right can be very difficult in Minecraft, and so I was pretty impressed that I was able to do this so quickly. And then there's Jeb in the background. So now I'm going to be working on a lot of the more niche details of the sloop. This includes the bell on the mast, the kind of archway behind the map table, and even some parts of the interior. I'm gonna finish the rudder off right now, and then I'm gonna frame the rest of the ship. But right now, I'm gonna go inside and do some of the barrels. I had a lot of trouble with this part, with the interior specifically, so that's why I'm not really showing you guys until it's done. It's very simple, so you're not missing much. But while we're here, I'm just gonna let you guys know I am planning on making a tutorial for this specific build, so you should be able to replicate it here. And if it's not clear enough to follow, I will listen to your guys' feedback and try to make it as clear as possible based on my last tutorial's reception. So here I am, just framing the ship. I wanted to keep the interior intact and make it all oak wood, and so I used mainly trapdoors to do the framing here because I didn't want to change the color palette. But luckily, this wasn't too hard. And so you can kind of see there, I did build part of the ropes with chains and some leads. I did use invisible parrots. Here we're going into the interior. Now I tried to make this as accurate to the game as possible. I don't have any images, unfortunately, of the interior. I could have gotten some from the game, but I just didn't bother because it's close enough. Trying to make the ship decorated on the inside was a little bit of a challenge because it's so little space, but it feels just right, about the right size as in the actual game. The whole point of this video is to try and make the most accurate model I possibly can. I did put a little bit of trinkets around. I tried to detail the floor, but that didn't work out, so I just reverted all of my stuff. And then with that, I believe the interior is complete. Of course, I do a little bit more adjustments off camera, but nothing extremely notable. And then here, when we go to the deck, you'll see I already completed the cannons, which were very tricky, especially because they're so small. And then I couldn't do anything better for the harpoons. They have harpoon guns in the game, so yeah. Here I have chains for the ropes right now, which I do believe I changed later. But then I have leads. And then now, because we're done, I decided, you know what, let's just bring this into a world with an island in it, right? Just found a nice little seed and brought the ship to make this look more realistic. And I like that. And with that, that's the end of the video. Thanks for watching.